This is a reading from the Diary of St. Gemma Galgani. Wednesday, August 15th, the Feast of the Assumption of Mary into Heaven. I remain in this state of dryness and the absence of Jesus until today, Wednesday. Since Friday, I've heard nothing. My confessor assures me this is a punishment for my sins, or to see if I can stay without Jesus, and to stimulate me to love him more. I have been alone throughout. Without Jesus. My guardian angel has not left me for even a second. Yet, how many omissions, how many faults, even in his presence. My God, have mercy on me. I always went to communion, but it was as if Jesus wasn't there anymore. But would Jesus wish to leave me alone even today on such a great holy day? I received communion with much more consolation, but without feeling Jesus. I prayed a lot these days because I want a grace from Jesus. Today, Mother Maria Teresa should go to heaven. I hope so. But how will I know? I can't collect myself unless I'm in a safe place. Today, my guardian angel will stand guard at the door. Here I am at 9:15 of this great day. I feel the usual internal collection. I prayed to my guardian angel to stand guard so that no one should see me. I hid in a room for the nuns. Oh, not much time passed before collection was followed by rapture. Whoever reads this should not believe anything, because I could very well be deceived. May Jesus never permit such a thing. I do so for obedience, and I oblige myself to write with great disgust. It was around 9:30, and I was reading. All of a sudden, I am shaken by a hand resting gently on my left shoulder. I turned in fright. I was afraid and tried to call, but I was held back. I turned and saw a person dressed in white. I recognized it was a woman. I looked, and her expression assured me I had nothing to fear. "Gemma," she said after some moments, "do you know me?" I said no, because that was the truth. She responded, "I am Mother Maria Teresa of the infant Jesus. I thank you so much for the great concern you have shown me, because soon I shall be able to attain my eternal happiness." All this happened while I was awake and fully aware of myself. Then she added, "Continue still, because I still have a few days of suffering." And in so saying, she caressed me and then went away. Her countenance, I must say, inspired much confidence in me. From that hour, I redoubled my prayers for her soul, so that soon she should reach her objective. But my prayers are too weak. How I wished that, for the souls in purgatory, my prayers should have the strength of the saints. From that moment, I suffered constantly, because until about 11 p.m., I could not be alone. I felt inside me a certain sense of collection, a desire to go and pray. But how to do it? I couldn't. How many times I had to insist. Finally, I had the longed-for permission, and I went to my mom. Although there were only a few moments, they were precious moments. Because of my bad behavior, Jesus did not permit the Blessed Virgin to come as she always did, smiling, but instead very sad, and I was the cause. She reproached me a little, but cheered up about one thing that I think here it would be better not to say, and this thing also gave great consolation to Jesus. And in fact, it was to reward me for this thing that she came. But as I said in a serious mood, she said a few words among them. "Daughter, when I go to heaven this morning, I shall take your heart with me." In that moment, I felt as if she approached, removed it from me, took it with her in her hands, and said to me, "Fear nothing. Be good. I shall keep your heart forever up there with me, always in my hands." She blessed me hurriedly, and in going away, she pronounced these words as well. "To me, you have given your heart, but Jesus wants something else as well." "What does he want?" I asked. "Your will," she answered, and vanished. I found myself on the ground, but I know exactly when that happened. It was when she began to approach me and remove my heart. Although these things frightened me upon first appearance, still, at the finish, I always end up being in infinite consolations. Thursday, August the 16th. Here I am at Thursday. The usual disgust descends upon me. Fear of losing my soul comes over me. The number of my sins and their enormity all open up before me. What agitation! In these moments, my guardian angel suggested in my ear, "But God's mercy is infinite." I calmed down. Early in the day, the pain in my head began. It must have been around 10 o'clock. When I was alone, I threw myself on the bed. I suffered some, but Jesus was not long in appearing. showing me that he also suffered greatly. I reminded him of the sinners for whom he himself urged me to offer all my little aches to the Eternal Father on their behalf. While I was with Jesus and suffering, and he suffered also, a strong desire came upon me, almost impossible to resist. Jesus realized this and asked me, "What do you want me to do?" And I immediately, "Jesus, have pity, lighten Mother Maria Teresa's torments." And Jesus, "I have already done so. Do you wish anything else?" he asked. That gave me courage, and I said, "Jesus, save her, save her." And Jesus answered like this, "On the third day after the Assumption of my Blessed Mother, she will be released from purgatory, and I will take her with me to heaven." These words filled me with a joy such that I do not know how to express it. Jesus said a number of other things. I also asked why, after Holy Communion, he did not allow me to taste the sweetness of heaven. He answered promptly, "You are not worthy, O daughter," but he promised that the next morning he would do it. How could I pass the time until morning? It's true, only a few hours remained, but for me, they were years. I didn't close my eyes and sleep. I was consumed. I wanted morning to come immediately. In a word, that night seemed like forever to me, but finally morning has come. Friday, August the 17th. Jesus, as soon as he arrived on my tongue, the cause so often of so many sins, made himself felt immediately. I was no longer in myself, but Jesus was in me. He descended to my breast. I say breast because I no longer have a heart. I gave it to Jesus' mom. What happy moments I spent with Jesus. How could I return his affections? With what words could I express his love and for this poor creature? Yet he did deign to come. It's truly impossible. Yes, it is impossible not to love Jesus. How many times he asked me if I loved him and if I truly love him. And do you still doubt it, my Jesus? So he unites ever more closely with me, talks to me, says he wants me to be perfect, that he too loves me very much, and I should reciprocate. My God, how can I make myself worthy of so many graces? Where I cannot reach, my beloved guardian angel will take my place. May God never let me deceive myself or others. I spent the rest of the day united with Jesus. I suffer a little, but no one sees my suffering. Only from time to time does some lament come forth. But my God, it is truly involuntary. Today I took very little, indeed nothing, for me to collect myself. My mind was all ready with Jesus, and I immediately went in spirit as well. How affectionate Jesus showed himself to be today, but how he suffers. I do what I can to diminish the anguish, and I would do more if I had permission. He came near today, lifted the crown from my head, and then I did not see him replace it as usual on his head. He held it in his hands. All his wounds were open, but they did not drip blood as usual. They were beautiful. He usually blesses me before leaving, and in fact, he lifted his right hand. From that hand I then saw a ray of light shine forth, much stronger than a lamp. He kept his hand raised. I remained fixed in watching it. I could not get enough of him. Oh, if I could make everyone know and see how beautiful is my Jesus. He blessed me with that same hand he had raised and left me. After this happened to me, I wanted to know the meaning of the light that shone from his wounds, in particular from his right hand, the one he blessed me with. My guardian angel said these words to me, "Daughter, on this day, Jesus has showered an abundance of graces upon you." Now that I am writing this, he approached me and said, "I urge you, my daughter, always to obey, and in everything. Reveal everything to your confessor. Tell him not to neglect you, but to keep you hidden." And then he added, "Tell him that Jesus wants him to have much more concern toward you, that he give you more thought, because otherwise you are too inexperienced." He repeated these things even after I had written them. He said them many times, when I was awake, and I felt as if I actually saw him and heard him speak. "Jesus, may your holy will always be done." But how I suffer for the obligation to write certain things. The disgust I felt initially, instead of diminishing, keeps growing enormously, and I am enduring deathly anguish. How many times today I tried to find and burn all my writings, and then, you, maybe, oh my God, you would like me to write also about those hidden things that you let me know out of your goodness, in order always to keep me low and humble me. If you wish, O Jesus, I'm ready to do even that. Make your will known. But these writings, of what benefit are they? For your greater glory, O Jesus, or to make me fall into more and more sin? You wish me to do so, and I did. You think about it. In the wound of your sacred side, O Jesus, I hide my every word. Saturday and Sunday, August the 18th and 19th. During Holy Communion this morning, Jesus let me know that tonight at midnight, Mother Maria Teresa will fly to heaven. Nothing else for now. Jesus promised to give me a sign. Midnight has come. Nothing yet. Now it's 1 a.m. Still nothing. Toward 1:30, it looked to me as if the Blessed Virgin would come to give me news, since the hour was approaching. After a little while, in fact, I thought I saw that Mother Teresa was coming, dressed as a Passionist, accompanied by her guardian angel and by Jesus. How she had changed since that day I first saw her. Laughing, she approached me and said she was truly happy and was going to enjoy her Jesus in eternity. She thanked me again and added, "Tell Mother Giuseppa that I am happy," and set her at ease. She made a sign several times with her hand to say goodbye, and together with Jesus and her guardian angel, she flew to heaven around 2:30 a.m. That night, I suffered a lot because I too wanted to go to heaven, but no one thought to take me. The desire Jesus had nurtured in me for so long finally was satisfied. Mother Teresa is in heaven, but even from heaven, she promised to return to see me. Monday, August 20th. Yesterday, during the day, I had to talk with my guardian angel once again. He reproached me above all for my laziness about prayers. He reminded me of many other things, all about the eyes. Still, he threatened me severely. Last night in church, he reminded me again of what he had said that day, telling me I would have to reckon with Jesus. Finally, before going to bed, as I was asking his blessing, he warned me that today, August 20th, Jesus wished me to undergo an assault from the demon because for several days I had been negligent in prayer. He warned me that the devil would make every effort to prevent me from praying, especially mentally, for all of today, and he would also deprive me of his visit, I mean my guardian angels, but only for today. I went to Holy Communion, but who knows in what state. So distracted, with my mind still on last night, that is, on a bad dream which I recognized as the work of the devil. Oh God, the moment of the assault has come, and it was strong, even terrible, I would almost say. No sign of the cross, no scapular was enough to halt the ugliest temptation one could imagine. He was so horrifying that I closed my eyes and never opened them again until I was absolutely free. My God, if I am without sin, I owe it only to you. You be thanked. What to say in those moments? To look for Jesus and not find him is a greater penance than the temptation itself. What I feel only Jesus knows, and he watches secretly and is pleased. At a certain point, when it seemed the temptation would take on more force, it came to mind to invoke the Holy Father of Jesus, and I shouted, "Eternal Father, for the blood of Jesus, free me." I don't know what happened. That good-for-nothing devil gave me such a strong shove that I fell off the bed, causing me to bang my head on the floor with such great force that I felt a sharp pain. I fainted and remained on the ground for a long time before regaining consciousness. Jesus be thanked that today also everything turned out in the best way as he wished. The rest of the day went wonderfully. In the evening, as it happens to me many times, all my grave sins came to mind, but with such enormity that I had to make a great effort not to cry out loud. I felt the pain more alive than I had ever undergone before. The number of my sins surpasses by 1,000-fold my age and my capacity. But what consoled me is that I endured the greatest pain because of my sins, so that I wish this pain would never be cancelled from my mind and never be diminished. My God, to what point my malice has reached. This evening, to tell the truth, I was awaiting Jesus. No one showed up, although my guardian angel does not cease to watch over me, to instruct me, and to give me wise counsel. Many times during the day, he reveals himself to me and talks to me. Yesterday, he kept me company while I ate, but he didn't force me as the others do. After I had eaten, I didn't feel at all well, so he brought me a cup of coffee so good that I was healed instantly, and then he made me rest a little. Many times, I made him ask Jesus for permission to stay with me all night. He goes to ask, and then he does not leave me until morning, if Jesus approves.